Hi there and welcome to this video review of the Western Digital MyCloud Pro Series PR2100. Now Western Digital sent me this 2-bay NAS unit for testing a couple of months ago, and I've been putting it through its paces, using it on a couple of fairly large scale video projects. So I thought it'd be useful to share my opinions and thoughts on how I've got on using the device for video production for others that are maybe considering this as a storage solution for working with large amounts of video files. Now the setup of the box is pretty easy. It's just a matter of connecting it to a power source, and it actually has an option for dual power supplies in case one fails. So if you're using this for a sort of 24/7 option, it's nice to know that they've thought of that. You then connect it to your local area network or your router, and you can then connect to the device through a web page and set it up and configure it as you want. Once I'd done that, what I then did was configure it so multiple users could access the device. And this was because I was using it on a fairly large scale video project with multiple editors, and we all needed to have access to the footage at the same time. Working on the local area network, which was a gigabit connection, gave transfer speeds of about 100 megabytes per second. And I found this sufficient enough for working with full HD and 4K video across multiple users while editing in Premiere Pro. Now the drive that they sent me was a 4 terabyte version, and this is actually two 2 terabyte discs inside it. And I had it set up in a RAID 1, so a mirrored setup. So I was only able to use 2 terabytes worth of storage. The RAID 1 approach allowed me to have a certain level of redundancy. It's not a backup approach because if you delete files off one, they're deleted off the mirror as well, or if files become corrupted on one drive, they get corrupted on the mirror as well. But it does offer that form of redundancy that if one of the drives fails, that you can then replace it and not lose any footage. Now Western Digital sell this as a MyCloud device. Now what this means is that you can access your information in the cloud, if you like, as your own sort of private server through a web interface or the MyCloud app available for smartphones and tablets. For me, this works pretty well. It's a real good way of sharing your footage or viewing your footage when you're actually away from the physical drive. Now, I wouldn't use this for remote editing or downloading large amounts of footage because you're limited to local internet speeds. And so it's not necessarily a viable option for editing, but certainly for accessing and viewing footage, sharing with a client, for example, it's a really handy function to have. The drive also is a full NAS box and comes with Plex capabilities. So if you want to set it up as a mini media server and stream movies, etc. throughout your house on multiple devices, it has all that functionality as well. It's not something that I personally will be using it for. For me, it's as a content producer and for managing my footage, but it's still nice to know that that function's there for those people that would use it. So overall, for me, as a content producer, as someone who's working with large amounts of video files, it's been a really good solution, especially when having multiple people trying to access the footage at the same time. I'm often used to storing footage on internal hard drives and also portable hard drives, and then having those in different locations for backup purposes, as well as storing information in the cloud. But this is the first time I've really used a network attached storage option, and for me it works really well. The ability also to have that network attached storage in another location and to be able to then do overnight backups and send footage to that is really handy. So for me, how a device actually performs whilst I'm working is the most important thing for me. And I found that the Western Digital PR2100 has worked really well while I've been working on these large scale video projects with multiple editors. Hopefully this has been useful. If you're interested in picking up one, please check the link in the description below. If you've got any questions, please drop them below as well. I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.